An electromagnetic pulse has just been generated, injecting a decompression agent. No, the level's not dropping. A spatial meltdown is inevitable. My lord, it's too late. We've got to take shelter.
Why so loud? Why do you refuse to listen to my voice? Father! Elise!
I just love how all these workers are wearing biohazard suits to prevent themselves from like radiation sickness or something like that, yet the king himself is not wearing any, and neither is Princess Elise. Yes, it's just solely on a design choice.
Is that flame? It's Iblis!
And the Black Shadow is the original Mephiles.
That's Mephiles? They're escaping!
We'll have to split up. I'll pursue Mephiles.
Okay, then leave Iblis to me.
I see one of those rare concussive explosions.
Seal it with this.
Hurry!
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. So now we're back in the past, and now it's time to do Aquatic Base with Silver the Hedgehog. And this is definitely one of Silver's longest levels. In fact, just to give you guys a quick warning, this entire part is nothing but Aquatic Base. And a few cutscenes here and there, but in terms of like any progression in levels, it's only Aquatic Base. Yeah, this level does tend to drag after a certain amount of time. And really, between Sonic and Silver and Shadow, the only difference is, well, you know, but just the characters you're controlling. In terms of all three characters, Aquatic Base is pretty much the exact same level between all three characters. You know? And with that said, because Silver is the slowest character of the three, his tends to drag. And one of the cool things actually you can do with Silver, as you might have noticed what I was doing with the metallic balls earlier in the level, is that if you manage to grab a lot of them with Silver Psychokinesis, they will merge together and form one giant ball. It's kind of neat to look at, but at the same time, I think like one giant ball is like the equivalent of throwing one small ball. I think it does about the same amount of damage. I'm not exactly sure if it does any extra considering its size. So, if you just want to, you know, if you just want to throw a giant metallic sphere, then go right ahead. Personally, I'd rather you just, you know, just grab many at once and just throw them all at once to get more out of it. But anyway, since we're in it now, Aquatic Base with Silver the Hedgehog, and Shadow is with him too, we now actually get to control Shadow the Hedgehog, and, well, he's pretty much Sonic. Only he has a bit more emphasis on combat, and his homing attack definitely has a bit more range, but there'll be another time to get into Shadow the Hedgehog, as you know, his section doesn't last very long at all, actually. Since, you know, this level is pretty much everything we've seen before, only with Sonic, and, you know, there's not much else to talk about. But at this point, we're at the point where we just want to get the game done and over with. And like I mentioned earlier, all the levels at this point just seem to blend in. You know, maybe you got different environments here and there, but all the enemies are still the same. These are the same guys we've been fighting, you know, in previous levels. So I really don't know what else to talk about at this point. Yeah, I guess I could start bringing up some other topics you guys have been bringing up. I know a lot of you guys have been wondering just what the hell is up with my updating schedule as of late. Well, you remember that cold I mentioned I had about a week ago when I was, you know, attempting to record more parts for this game? Yeah, it ended up getting worse. You know, I thought for a while I was getting better because it started out with a simple head cold, and then my nose started getting stuffier and stuffier as the days went by, and then it just turned out into an alright, you know, I wouldn't say flu, but it was pretty damn close. My body was getting pretty damn weak, and combined with working the overnight shift at my job, that's another reason why I'm so, you know, my schedule is so wonky in terms of uploading parts. Yeah, I work the overnight shift at my job. That's like 11 at night to like 8 in the morning. I'm usually not home till like 9 in the morning, and by the time I'm home, I'm dead tired. And you know, if I have more energy in me, then I usually try to get a part done and record it with. you know, to make sure something's uploading while I'm sleeping. And if not, then I usually won't be able to get to it till like 8 at night, you know, like 3 hours before I have to work another shift. And yeah, it was a combination of just me feeling under the weather and my job at Wawa. Yeah, that's where I work at. And not to mention, you know, I know a lot of you guys are still wondering, although I am greatly appreciating the patience of every single one of you. You guys are much more patient than I thought you guys were going to be. Like, I know a lot of you guys still wonder, like, you know, how's the progression with the Sonic animation going for the main channel? And that's the one thing I'm actually been working on the hardest. Like, that's another reason why I'm a bit reluctant to post parts of these up, because I do want to get that thing done. You guys have been waiting for so long with that one, and you know, every day I think about, I was like, okay, every day while I'm working on that thing, I'm thinking this has to get done. And again, there are times where I'm able to put like maybe 4 to 8 hours on the project, but then, you know, but if it's a day where I have to work that overnight shift, then I usually only have enough time to maybe like put 4 hours into it. And then on my days off, I'm usually handling something that does have nothing to do with the channel or the review, or I'm working on a separate project that's for some other person that is interested in my work. And again, because since my main review channel is a hobby, as this Let's Play channel is, it doesn't really take much priority. I'll be perfectly honest, like, and I'm working on changing that. I want to make sure I want to, you know, make a consistent release schedule, because I know you guys want me to get this Let's Play done with. I know you guys want me to get that animation done and over with, and it's time for that to change. I can't dawdle on that any longer. It's a good thing this level is as long as it is. Otherwise, I never had the time where to think about all the shit I need to say. But you know, you guys are asking, and you know, you need to hear all this. You guys need to hear the answer to all this. So yeah, I don't even think we're at the halfway point of this level yet. Yeah, some of you also mentioned when I said last part that Silver cannot grind on rails at Radical Train, or a single player for that matter, yet he can do so in 2-player mode. And well, that's just inconsistent. I guess, you know, just to give Silver the Hedgehog a bit of an equalizer in that regard, you know, because I can't remember exactly what levels you can do multiplayer in, but there are grind rails to my knowledge, and if Sonic and Shadow can do it, why the hell can't Silver? But if you're going to put that in multiplayer, why not just put that in single player? You know, make the levels a little bit more fast. Well, faster, I should say. It's inconsistent, and a lot of people, including myself, are bugged by that. Okay, now we're in the second half of Aquatic Base. And we're pretty much just doing the same shit we've been doing for the first half of the level. We just put that awesome shock bracelet to work. I don't know. I don't know. It just looks weird to me. And now we start getting in, you know, the bigger enemies start coming into the level now. But again, it's nothing we haven't seen before. Just grab something and throw it at them. These big guys in particular are annoying because what I mentioned earlier in one of the earlier parts is that you can do the shock bracelet to stun them, but most of the time when they're not, they're gonna have this invisible force field that'll prevent you from doing so. Like that. You see that? I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be, but the best way to do it is just to, you know, pimp slap the invisible ankles and have him kiss the wall and he'll, you know, combust. Luckily though, this Let's Play is well, this part of the Let's Play is almost done, because there's only 2 more levels after this. It's Kingdom Valley and Flame Core. Yeah, you heard me right, Flame Core. We're actually going back to the future after a certain part, but this section of the level actually not that bad. So they expect you to like carefully go. Did he really just? Never mind. I already mentioned that in the brain scratch run. This part of the level, they expect you to like take your time with the metallic sphere and, you know, carefully navigate through the laser gates. But again, if you know how to use Silver Psychokinesis and use that wonderful hovering ability that you can abuse by mashing the A button instead of just holding it down, you can bypass this stage this part of the stage really easily. You know, it may take a bit of practice, especially when you have to be precise and land on these little pillars right here, but it's really not that hard. But actually, look, the shock bracelet actually worked that time, and now he's humping the other giant, and nothing. See, that's what happens when it doesn't work. You see, I have this kind of mindset where I assume an ability is going to work, and as such, I'm like already heading towards the enemy, which I think is going to be stunned, when in reality, the enemy's not stunned, and I end up running into him because, you know, he wasn't affected by the attack in the first place. I tend to do that a lot in games like this, or in any other game where I expect ability to work, but it doesn't. And with that, we completely fucked over that metallic sphere section, because I really can't stand that fucking thing. I think we're about the end at the end of this stage. Yeah, the metallic pulls. Every time you see one of the things, do yourself a favor and hit them. It destroys all the enemies in that room. Here's what I'm doing right here. I'm actually collecting all the metallic. I want to see how far I can take this with me. Oh. Okay. Well, I was not aware that the lasers were actually solid objects. Yeah, I believe this is the last part of the stage. And if it's anything like Sonic, this is when they start throwing a fuck ton of enemies at you. So one thing we can really recommend at this part is just keep using the shock bracelet and, well, you know, the pimp slap for the bigger enemies and the shock bracelet for everything else, and you should be okay. Though I don't expect your ring count to be anywhere near close to like 10 or anything like that because of bullshit like that. There are times where I swear the hitboxes are bigger than the actual enemy itself. Again, that's just me though. Not, you know, that's just what I think. Going into the level itself, though, I mean, Shadow is taking Silver into the past to see what happened 10 years ago. But was it ever his intention to actually try and manipulate events, or just to show what happened? Kind of like a Christmas Carol kind of thing, where the Ghost of Christmas Past showed the events of, you know, Scrooge's life, and he never actually had the intention of changing events, just to see what really happened. But by going into the past and actually trying to stop whatever caused the past events from happening, time travel in this game is so fucking stupid and wonky. There's no such thing as a paradox. There is no butterfly effect. It's just... I can't... Makes my head hurt thinking about it.
Hey! What are you doing? You've got to leave!
I have my duty. This living flame has been entrusted to the royal family. The flames of disaster will awaken if nothing is done. That must not happen. Eternal Sun, the living flame that has been entrusted to the royal family, fall into slumber with a royal soul. I'm sorry, but can you take her to a safe place? That's a good girl, Elise. Remember, be brave. Don't cry, no matter what happens. Otherwise, your tears will call forth the flames inside you.
What a bullshit method of releasing a creature.
Become a strong queen who doesn't cry, no matter what happens. And live happily.
But don't live too happily. Who wouldn't want tears of joy sprouting from those eye sockets?
Did you do it?
Yes. And you?
Yes. The flames are properly sealed. It's done. You're going to leave it behind?
Yes. I already know what becomes of it in the future. It's time to return.
Yes, of course. Chaos Control! It's a lucky charm.
If Elise was unconscious during her first encounter with Silver, and how the hell does she have any visual recollection of him in the beginning of the game?
Blaze!
What did you see?
The Iblis trigger wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see.
Crowd of people, 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 crowd of people,
They're quite noisy.
crowd of people, crowd of people, crowd of people,
Yes,
crowd of people,
I heard that the princess here left for Dr. Eggman's base in response to his earlier threat.
What if his ultimate objective was to release Iblis?
Son of a bitch, this story sucks. Ugh. I don't even know where to begin, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. But I won't drag the part out any longer, so see you guys for part 18? Yeah, it's 18.